In 1981, a demolition crew dismantling the old Halcyon Hotel in downtown Chicago broke through a brick partition and uncovered a hidden bathroom that did not appear on any of the original blueprints. Inside the rusted cast iron tub lay a single gold ring engraved with 3 initials, E.M.W. According to city archives, that room had been sealed and left untouched for nearly 40 years. And the woman whose initials were carved into the gold had been missing since 1938. City construction records show that the Halcyon Hotel first opened in November 1912, standing at the intersection of Franklin Avenue and 11th Street. A modest 4-story brick building meant for traveling salesmen, railroad men, and guests seeking quiet away from the riverfront hotels. For decades, the Halcyon remained unremarkable. Steady, clean, and anonymous. Changing owners, repainting walls, replacing carpets, never once making the papers for anything more than a zoning update. Its second floor, however, never changed. 15 rooms, aligned perfectly along a narrow corridor, as though the building itself resisted renovation. The first sign that something wasn't right appears in a maintenance log dated July 17, 1965, when engineer Arthur M. Collins recorded a guest complaint from room 239 about the sound of running water behind the west wall of the bathroom. No leak was found. The entry was considered routine and forgotten, until 9 months later, the same sound, same room, same wall, returned. By the third incident, Collins added a note in the margin. Recurring report, no source identified. By the spring of 1966, room 239 had a reputation among staff. Housekeepers refused to clean it alone, claiming the air inside felt damp, that the mirror fogged even with the heating off, and that sometimes, in the reflection, a woman could be seen standing in the corner, motionless and facing the wall. One employee, identified only by the initials CR, filed a written complaint stating that she entered the room and saw a woman in a pale dress, her hair wet, head lowered, as if she were listening to something inside the wall. When the housekeeper turned back toward the bed, the figure was gone, leaving only silence, and the faint sound of dripping that stopped as soon as she noticed it. Management dismissed the report as fatigue. The employee was transferred, and the room remained vacant for several weeks. In July 1967, 2 guests checked out in the middle of the night, leaving a note at the front desk that read, "Footsteps by the window. Breathing after midnight. Can't sleep the following year on October 12, 1968. A call was made to the police from a man staying in room 239. He claimed a woman had locked herself in the bathroom and would not respond. When officers forced entry, they found the bathtub half filled with cold water, the door chain latched from the inside, and a strong metallic odor in the air. No one was inside. The police report concluded with a single line: possible auditory hallucination. No crime detected. The room was sealed for inspection. A maintenance record dated March 3, 1969. Notes: persistent condensation and localized temperature variance plus 5 degrees Fahrenheit above corridor average. No explanation was provided. During renovation in May 1970, foreman Earl Jensen reported 3 distinct knocks from within the west wall, though no workers were present on the opposite side. Work was halted for a day and quietly resumed. By 1972, room 239 was permanently removed from the registry. Its key was kept separate. Elevator logs from night shifts showed unexplained stops on the second floor, doors opening to an empty corridor, and faint, wet footprints leading nowhere. In February 1976, a traveling salesman named Thomas Reeves, age 56, was assigned to the room after a booking error. He was found dead the next morning. Official cause: cardiac failure. But the attending officer, R. Delaney, added a handwritten note at the bottom of his report. Clothing saturated. Shoes half filled with clear water. Source unknown. After that, Room 239 was never opened again. In 1978, the Chicago Herald published a short article titled "The Woman in Room 239." Former employees described a female figure in a 19th century dress appearing in mirrors, her face never visible, her posture always turned toward the wall. They spoke of dripping sounds long after the pipes had been disconnected. The story turned the Halcyon into a local legend, and within a year, the owners filed for bankruptcy. By the summer of 1981, the building was condemned and scheduled for demolition. On June 4th, workers removing the west corridor broke through a section of brick and discovered a narrow, unlisted room, a sealed bathroom with a rusted tub half filled with stagnant water. At the bottom was a gold ring engraved with E.M.W. A cross-reference with missing persons from 1938 confirmed a match. Evelyn May Winters, age 29. Last seen checking into the Halcyon Hotel on September 11th during a heavy storm. She was reported missing 2 days later by her husband. No body was ever found. The file was marked insufficient evidence. The rest of the building came down within a week. Today, an office complex stands over the old foundation, its lobby bright and sterile, its windows facing the same direction as the rooms once did. But janitorial staff still report hearing slow, uneven dripping sounds in the restrooms after midnight. Faint, deliberate, steady, coming not from the pipes above, but from somewhere beneath the floor. Following the demolition of the Halcyon Hotel in June 1981, a formal report was filed by the Chicago Building Department citing non-compliance with updated fire code as the reason for the teardown. Buried in Appendix C of that same report was a single paragraph noting the discovery of a substructure enclosure containing plumbing fixtures and miscellaneous debris. No mention of the ring, no mention of water. 2 weeks later, Detective Harold Finn of the 11th Precinct requested temporary custody of the recovered items for cross-reference with the 1938 Winters disappearance file. His memo, dated June 17, 1981, begins. Item 1. Gold band, feminine. Inscription, E.M.W. Tarnish consistent with long-term submersion. Water sample pending analysis. The analysis never appears in the record. In September 1981, Finn transferred divisions, and the Winters file was re-archived under Cold Case Index number 1938-72-W. When the new case management system came online in 1992, the file was marked Digitization Incomplete. Several pages, including the laboratory worksheet, are missing. The ring itself resurfaced once in 1998 during a review of evidence slated for disposal. An intern at the city property warehouse logged it as miscellaneous personal jewelry, no owner traceable. Photographs taken that day show corrosion on the inside of the band and what technicians described as a faint indentation, ring-shaped, left on the evidence tray after removal. As if the metal were damp, the storage facility was climate-controlled. By 2003, The site of the former Halcyon Hotel had become part of a commercial complex called Franklin Square Plaza. On the building's second floor, directly above the coordinates once corresponding to room 239, several tenants began reporting maintenance issues. Localized humidity, unexplained power surges, ceiling tiles staining from within. Property management blamed condensation from the HVAC system. Yet inspection notes from April 22, 2004 list a recurring problem in Suite 214. Drip sounds between 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. No mechanical source found. Tenants request relocation security camera logs from that same corridor record motion events at irregular intervals. When technicians reviewed the footage, they found static flashes resembling the interference patterns common in analog tape, despite the system being digital. The timestamp on every affected clip ended in 49. Former security supervisor Dean Larson later told investigators he once followed the sound himself, walking the corridor past midnight until it stopped outside the women's restroom. He opened the door and found the light flickering, a single sink running at a slow, steady trickle. When he reached out to shut the tap, the water stopped by itself. The mirror, he said, was fogged, though the air felt cold. In the condensation were 3 letters traced by a finger, E.M.W. Larson resigned the following morning and refused further comment. In 2010, after a pipe burst during renovation, maintenance crews accessed the crawl space below the concrete foundation. Among the rubble, they discovered a small section of original tile, still attached to a slab of floors bearing the hotel's construction stamp, Halcyon, Bath County, 1912. Next to it lay a fragment of porcelain, possibly from a sink, etched with scratches forming a rough oval shape. No water lines were connected anywhere near it. An investigative journalist, Mary Ann Holbrook, published an article about the finding in the Tribune Sunday magazine titled "The Ring and the Room." She connected the Winters disappearance, the 1981 demolition, and the unexplained maintenance issues inside Franklin Square. The article ended with a single sentence that drew hundreds of letters and emails from readers claiming to have stayed at the old Halcyon as children. They all remember hearing water when there was none. Shortly after publication, Holbrook requested access to the original Winters police file. The request was denied. The archive listed the file as missing in transfer. She wrote in her notes that the clerk handling her call sounded uneasy and mentioned, off record, that the database still showed an open evidence entry for property number 239-81-E. Liquid sample, sealed, stored in the municipal cold vault. When Holbrook pressed for clarification, the line disconnected. In 2012, the cold vault underwent renovation. During inventory, workers found a stainless steel container labeled exactly that, 239-81-E. Inside was a sealed glass vial filled with clear liquid, its label unreadable. The logbook states the container emitted a faint odor of stagnant water. The vial was destroyed per protocol. Nothing further appears in the city records after that date. But maintenance staff at Franklin Square say the dripping never stopped. They've replaced ceiling panels, resealed pipes, tested valves, and even rerouted the entire water system. Yet once or twice a week, between 2 and 3 a.m., they still hear it. 3 slow drops, a pause, then 2 more, always from the same spot in the floor. One of them, a custodian named Leo Ramos, recorded the sound on his phone in 2019. When the audio file was analyzed, spectral software revealed a low-frequency pattern embedded under the noise. 5 beats, pause, then a 6th, repeating every 47 seconds. When compared to a 1938 dictation recording of Evelyn May Winter's handwriting rhythm, taken from employment records typed by her in the railway office, the timing matched exactly. The city never commented. Franklin Square remains open, its tenants rotating every few years. Room numbers begin at 201 now. There is no 239. But every so often, during night cleaning, someone hears a soft sound coming from under the tiles. Not loud enough to frighten, only steady enough to remind. And if you stand there long enough, past the hum of the lights and the whisper of the air vents, you can almost tell where the wall once stood, the one that was never supposed to be opened.